It's both important and it's not important at all. Um, the a perfectly balanced fighting game would be just the same character, so only one character, right? You play Ryu versus Ryu in Street Fighter 2, and once you've resolved for like side-specific advantages, that's perfectly balanced. And that's a game that personally I would love to play, but I also love playing Ryu. He's my favorite character in a fighting game, and a lot of people would not want to play that game. So for any fighting game developer, what you're looking at is balancing the range of options with basically to make sure that you're hitting players at multiple skill levels, right, and multiple execution levels. You don't want typically you don't want your game to be super difficult for everyone to play. But you also don't want it to be overly easy, because then that kind of limits the amount of the range of mastery, right? So and this is actually something interesting that we've seen with kind of the new generation of fighting games, starting with Street Fighter 4 in 2008 and 2009. They simplified the play space extremely compared to older games, right? Like the kind of the generation of fighting games that came out before Street Fighter, the one in the early 2000s, had a lot of different systems to play with, a lot of different characters that like you were still learning how to do new things or master existing things for years after the game was released. In the newer games, you see the range is decreased significantly. And so what that means is that the range of mastery for an individual character is often a little bit like the ceiling is lower. So it's easier for players to get into and easier for players to compete in, but it's rare to see a virtuoso performance where one character, like one player's version of Ryu or Rufus or Sub-Zero or whoever, it just looks drastically different from another's, right? You lost a little bit of the expression at the high end. So the response from the competitive community has been to start learning multiple characters, and that's a thing you can do, right? But then that changes the way you play the game.